Syndicated presents Shep and Sean, featuring Matt Shepard and Sean Baligian.
What is going on? He's Shep. I'm Sean. And Shep, you know what? I don't know where I saw it. I thought there was a pretty quirky line last night after the game. Somebody said it was the NFL's first 7-point blowout. It is the way that they described that game last night. And
Did you think it was a blowout?
I didn't think the Lions were going to come back and win that game, is what I would say. That was kind of my impression as that game continued. There was absolutely nothing for me to believe that the Lions were going to come back and mount some incredible comeback and force a tie or win in overtime or anything like that. I thought the Philadelphia Eagles were the better team. Period.
Yeah, I walked away from that game super impressed with Philly's defense. Very impressed with Detroit's defense, thoroughly unimpressed with both teams' offenses.
Yep.
I don't know if this is a fair way to look at it, and Philly's got some really impressive wins, Sean. I give them full marks. All right. I thought when I watched a little bit of the Rams and the Seahawks, Rams clearly better than the Eagles in my point.
Yes.
And I think when fully healthy, I think Detroit is a hell of a lot better than what they showed. I was taken aback by how they looked. It shook me. It shook my confidence in them. Not that it's gone, because I still think they're a playoff team. Don't know if I firmly believe they're a Super Bowl contender like I did before, but I'm not going to waver that Amon-Ra St. Brown is still one of the best wide receivers, or the Jahmyr Gibbs is one of the best running backs, or the Jack Campbell, on and on and on. I'm just, it shook me a little bit. I'm surprised that they couldn't get more done offensively last night.
Shep, it shook me a lot a bit. And here's good team. Lions are a good team. Okay. They're not great. Some of the issues that we were terrified of rear their ugly head.
Yep.
The game is won in the trenches. I say it time and time again, and it's funny. Austin said, you always quote Tony Dungy, and you're right. Our 4 losses, they've gotten to Goff. Give Goff time. He is elite. 80 pressures in the 4 losses.
Yep.
Shep, it's about protecting your quarterback and getting to their quarterback. It really is. That's the National Football League today. And frightening that the recipe for success and the recipe for failure is that which Austin just said.
Yeah, 100%. Really good point by Austin saying, our 4 losses, they've gotten to Goff. Give Goff time, he's elite. Right. Braylon brought up a really good point today on Braylon Edwards' show on Woodward Sports, where he was saying that the best front 4s Detroit has faced, they have failed.
Yep.
That's even the Minnesota game, the front 4. My surprise, Sean, I'd love your thoughts on this, was the lack of adjustments. And I don't mean by, let's do the halftime adjustments crap. I'm talking about against Minnesota, they kept shooting A gap primarily. Okay. That's how they put pressure on Jared Goff. Detroit did not adjust. Yesterday, rarely did you see Gibbs or anybody bounce it to the outside. Rarely did you see them do anything other than try with the quick strikes. And it sure seemed like Philadelphia knew that was going to happen. And that's why so many balls were batted down and why so many guys were being jumped in coverage. So that's the thing that really disappointed me. What you said is kind of stuck with me here. You said Detroit's a good team, not great. Agreed. Who's great?
Philadelphia. I'm going to continue to say it. They find a way, and you can poke at their offense. I think that's an offense that is shown when they need a play, when Jalen Hurts needs to make a play.
Yeah,
he can make a play. I think you put the Rams in that category. I really do. I thoroughly enjoyed the Rams and Seahawks yesterday. And even with all the miscues from Sam Darnold, I mean, they were in a position to take that game, Shep. And when I say good, not great, I mean real contenders. And I'm going to be perfectly blunt with you. I don't think the Lions are a real contender right now.
Okay.
I hope it changes. I really do. I hope it changes.
Listen, and it can change. You're not saying that they won't be a contender all season. You're saying right now, and it's a fair point, at some point earlier this year, a lot of people may not have thought Philadelphia was a contender. They'd lost back-to-back games, including one to the Giants.
Yeah.
They have righted the proverbial ship. Seattle, I don't think, has an impressive win on their resume. I think their defense is borderline elite. Find me the elite win on the Seattle resume.
Right.
There isn't one. Okay. LA, I would agree with. They did lose to San Francisco, who was undermanned. They were without their guys. But again, it's how you respond and whether or not you can maintain that type of response. The thing that is probably disappointing me more than anything else about the Lions this year, and look, we always ask for consistency, but their inability to get right and stay on that path. Because while you and I were talking last year about how good this team was, sure, 15-2, neither you nor I thought they were going to go 15-2. But I don't think neither you nor I thought that they were going to go loss to Kansas City, win to Tampa, lose to the Vikings, win to Washington, lose to the Eagles, and now going to beat the Giants up next. So the back and forth, looking for a little bit more of that clear path that they gave us a year ago, and it just has not been there.
That's what's so weird about this year, and we'll get to your comments in just a second. Shep, you knew they weren't going 15-2. You're out your mind. It doesn't happen in the National Football League. The best teams don't go 15-2. Throughout all these, wonderful Tom Brady years, obviously Patrick Mahomes years, you're not seeing teams roll up 15-2 or back then 14-2 and 14-2 seasons. It doesn't work that way. So I wasn't being greedy like that. I said it then, and quite frankly, I got to be honest with you, I still think it's possible. 12-5. I don't think that's, and I still think that's a realm of possibility. I really truly do when you look at the remaining schedule. But I think with these trenches being what they are, especially the offensive line, you and I talked about it day one. And I know a lot of the slapdicks got mad at us. I don't think that you just replace Frank Ragnow, Oh, don't worry about it. We'll slide Graham over, and eventually Tate will be ready, and he'll be the center of the future. But it's not that easy, I mean, his importance to this offensive line was huge. Now, is that to say that the root of all evil is Frank Ragnow? No, please don't be simplistic. But if it's not one thing, it's another. And I think that we've seen these in these losses, Shep. We really have.
Yeah, we've both been on that same page. It's not just his ability to make plays or prevent others from making plays. It's his calls at the line of scrimmage. And we're not privy to that, right? Yep. But don't tell me that's not part of it. That's got to be part of it. I've always felt, this is with great respect for Graham Glasgow, okay? I've always felt he was the perfect swing guy. If somebody goes down, I feel great with him coming in at left guard. If somebody goes down, I feel pretty damn good with him coming in at center. If your right guard goes down, you could use him at right guard, right? But is he your every single day guy in that? I think that was their miscalculation.
Yep.
If Ragnow is going to be gone, what were you thinking with Zeitler? Why were you not getting him on board? Okay. And telling him, look, you got one more, we got a solid chance. Keep you at right guard, draft Tate Ratledge, make him your center from day one, and then let Glasgow and Christian Mahogany battle for the left guard spot. Best man wins. And the other guy's going to come in. Okay. And I think they miscalculated there. I really do. And my biggest concern wasn't the loss of Ben Johnson or Aaron Glenn. It was not. My biggest concern before the season began was, how are you going to find three guys, new positions? Yeah. Glasgow moving from left guard to center, even though he's played there before. Mm-hmm. He still has to play next to a rookie right guard and basically a rookie left guard who took, I think, how many snaps? 70 snaps a year ago, something like that. Not many. Okay. In the grand scheme of things, not that many. That's a massive adjustment in addition to the coordinators. But I think that was a massive adjustment. And I don't think it has worked out the way the Lions expected it to. Not just because of the losses, Sean. I'm talking about the ineffectiveness oftentimes of the offense.
Yeah. By the way, Jordan said, I watched La Coupe de Grey, Rough Riders. They beat the Alouettes. Congratulations to them.
If you say so.
Goff wasn't good enough for all those fourth down plays. After almost $1 billion in salary, do you think there is a point ownership starts demanding more, or will they say we are rolling in the money?
Can I ask you this question? I don't think Goff was good enough on any of the plays either. The crossing route by Amon-Ra St. Brown is low. Could have caught it.
Yep.
The crossing route by Jamison Williams, it was low, but oftentimes I'll steal Braylon's thoughts. Jamison Williams is a guy who likes to catch, turn, and go.
Yeah.
And perhaps Goff is like, you know what? I'm throwing this where you got to go down and catch it. Let's just get the first down.
Yeah.
Okay. Not everything has to be grabbed and then turn, go vertical. And sometimes you're throwing to a spot. And I'm not making excuses for Jared Goff. He wasn't good enough, period. Full stop. But I thought those were two passes that could have been caught that added to his disappointing day.
Do you agree with the assertion that there might be something wrong with Amon-Ra? Because Shep, to me, he looks like a human being. I think
I agree with you.
The wrong part was the last couple of years. I mean, he was a machine. He was a jugs machine.
Didn't drop anything.
He didn't. Right. And you know what? He's dropping balls now. Steve said they haven't played correct situational football all season. They're force feeding Gibbs. It's hurting the team. Montgomery needs to be used correctly in third and fourth downs, along with red zone.
I would strongly disagree with that. Let's not get too hyperbolic. When somebody says they haven't played great situational all season, I don't think they did much wrong against Chicago. I sure as hell don't think they didn't punt. I mean, if not for a kneel down, every possession ended in a score against Washington. I know Washington's not very good, but you're saying of all season long. I think there's a lot of people who thought they should have used Gibbs more yesterday. Okay. Dude had a career high in receiving yards. I mean, he did something pretty well. So I'm not sure when we're getting technical with situational football. Look, I would not have used Gibbs on a 4th down and 1. I would have used David Montgomery. When you've got an opportunity, when Jalen Carter's turned around with his back toward the ball, snap the ball, go a quarterback sneak. Okay.
Yep.
I wouldn't have done fake punt. If you're going to do a fake punt, just keep your offense out there since they left their first team defense, all those things. But to say they haven't played good situational football all season long is not true.
You brought I got to bring up something. It was one of those memories in a second. All right. You just brought up something. All About Catering LLC, full service caterer, graduations, weddings, bridal showers, corporate events, anything you need catering for from 25 to 4,000 people. All About Catering can and will take care of you. Customer service and satisfaction is the number one goal. So don't sweat your next big event. Just go to allaboutcateringllc.com today to see their menus and all their 5-star reviews. Give them a call, 586-731-1398 to get your event started. Rick and his gang will take care of you. I don't know why, Shep, just hearing you explain that. Do you remember that game in Pittsburgh in the pouring rain maybe 12, 13 years ago where they decided to go for a fake field goal with their then rookie punter? Do you remember that?
I do.
And the justifications after the game, I literally wanted to bang my head against the ground. And they said, hey, man, people ain't got no guts, no glory. And I was like, well, call me crazy, all right? I think if I'm going to go for it on 4th down, I might throw the greatest generation wide receiver of his generation out there as opposed to our secret weapon, the rookie punter.
Yeah.
That call me nuts. But that's and that's
who was that? Was that John Jett? Who was that?
No, it was what was his name? And then he moved on. Really scrawny guy. Gosh, I don't remember. I could look it up. But Shep, that was my feeling. Okay, listen, I get it. You're Dan Campbell. You are the riverboat gambler. All right. go with it with your A team on the field, right? I'm not going to beat you up for it. Okay.
I don't need Grant Stewart running up the middle, number one, but number two, I don't think it's the same offensive line. Not like the offensive line was great, right? But why, if you're going to do that, why wouldn't you just give yourself the best chance at doing it?
Yep.
Especially when they don't move at all with their starting defense. I found it to be pretty odd. If you look at, Sean, we were talking about this today on the show. If you look at the situations, okay, I wrote it down. You could understand why they went for it the way they did. All right. If you look at, there was 4th and 1 from the Philly 48 or the Detroit 48. Would you have gone for it there? Are you playing field position? Probably not. Okay. So you're right near midfield. I didn't have a problem with that. I had a problem with Gibbs trying to go up the middle and Amon-Ra St. Brown getting flattened by a defensive end. 4th and 2 from the Detroit 43. That was the fake punt, what you and I were talking about. 4th and 2. All right. So I had an issue with that one. 4th and 5 from the Philly 32. Now, remember the wind. So if you're playing that at Ford Field, you're kicking the field goal, right? Punting does you hardly any good. What are you gaining? 20 yards if on a good day? So I have no problem with them going for that. 4th and goal from the Philly 3. I have a problem with that. Okay. Incomplete to Amon-Ra St. Brown in the back of the end zone. Brock Wright was wide open. You know that. You talked about it this morning. Why not take the short points there? And then 4th and 3 from the Philly 45. That was near the end. Incomplete to Amon-Ra St. Brown. You had to go for it there.
Yep.
So for the most part, outside the fake punt and perhaps the 4th and goal where you could have had points there, I think there's a lot of people who feel like, you know what? I understand the situation, why they did what they did.
Sam Martin, by the way, thanks for Todd.
Oh, good job. Yeah,
that was. Yeah. That's what I want to do. Oh yeah, yeah.
Brilliant.
You didn't account for Sam Martin, and then I throw him out on your face. And then, what?
You want to be on Sports Center? Let me show you.
Yeah,
this is what you do. You get Sam Martin.
Kevin said that's great. Not losing back-to-back games makes you a 509 team. I don't know. I think it's a pretty big deal that they haven't lost back-to-back games in 3 years. I think
if they're alternating wins and losses, I don't care if they've lost back-to-back games. Guess what? Philly lost back-to-back games. Does it matter? No, it doesn't matter a damn thing. I agree with Kevin. I think we're making a big deal out of it. I would like to see them, reel off. They're going to win the next 3. They're going to be favored to win the next 3, I would guess. Next big test will be against the Rams. Well, maybe Green Bay on Thanksgiving, but against the Rams. Or I honestly believe this. I mean, if they get it right, I think they can win the rest of their games. I mean that. 7 straight. Bears are playing better. I get that. 9 isn't playing very well in Minnesota. We know that. Okay. So I think they can.
Did you see the Bears schedule? As Austin said, Bears will come down to earth. You ready for the Bears schedule? Steelers at Bears, at the Eagles, at the Packers. They have the Browns at home. They have the Packers at home. They're at the Niners, and they host the Bears. Good luck, or they host the Lions. Good luck.
Yeah, I don't see them. I don't see them winning the division. I still think Detroit wins the division. But here's my frustration with last night, as much as anything else. The NFC is now going to go through Philly, maybe LA. But you go on the road in LA, maybe it's not that big of a deal. I don't want to play in Philadelphia in the middle of January. Do you?
No.
If you're the Lions?
Nope.
Not after that stuff.
Don't want anything to do with it.
Nope.
You think it was bad? You think the weather was bad last night? Just wait.
Right.
Austin said, I know this isn't what the puck. Did you guys see the picture of the bench clearing ball with the Wings and Rangers wearing their centennials? Lucas Raymond finally woke up. It's good to see.
Yeah.
Yep.
Watched
flows, man.
most of it. It was fantastic. Nice response by them, I thought, especially after blowing the game against Buffalo. So good for them. I thought they were active. I thought they were in front of Jonathan Quick. Explain to our audience, Sean, why Jonathan Quick lost his mind after Mason Appleton shot the puck into an empty net as the horn was going off.
You can't do it. That's one of the unwritten rules. Goaltenders don't like it. Defensemen don't like it. And that's just that's the way it is. And it's a respect thing. And Mason knows that. Mason knows what he's doing. I'm convinced of it. You could say, well, he's in the middle of a shift or anything like that. That's the unwritten rule. You don't disrespect that. And when guys are trying to do that, it is common knowledge. I didn't make the rules. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
It is common knowledge that the opposition takes that as a sign of disrespect.
Fair enough. That's good.
Really, I have no other way to explain that, but that's one of those, that's just the way it is. And as Bruce Hornsby once so eloquently said, some things will never change.
That's just the way it is. Look, like you said, you may not like it, but that's the way it is. It's not a rule. It's an unwritten rule. Unlike what Jamison Williams did last night, it is a rule. You and I may not like the rule. I think it's ridiculous, but that doesn't excuse somebody not knowing that rule, number one, and number two, not actually doing something that's going to hurt his team. Sean, when you and I were at DFN together, there was a moment in time where Prince Fielder and Miguel Cabrera were in the dugout. They were getting their asses kicked by the Red Sox or somebody, and the camera showed the two of them laughing. And the next day, phone lines were nonstop at DFN. This is when that network actually cared about it. And the people who own the radio rights actually cared about sports radio. And what they did was we just heard fan after fan after fan screaming, they don't care.
Yeah.
They're getting all the money. Remember that?
Yeah.
Jamison Williams does what he does. He gets a flag. He goes to the sideline. He's laughing. He's smiling. People are dapping him. People are patting him on the back. Where's the outrage? The outrage all day long. Your show, my show in the morning, Braylon's show in the afternoon. The outrage is at Jared Goff and Dan Campbell. I'm not saying they don't deserve some of it, but don't you find it rather funny that people are not pissed off more at Jamison Williams for a 15-yard penalty? Or is Jake Bates just supposed to make that with a strong wind 15 yards further back?
Do you know what somebody told me? I kid you not, Shep. It was time for me to get off social media at that point in time. Somebody legitimately said to me, what did he do wrong? And I said, like, you're not allowed to touch the goalpost. And he goes, he didn't touch the goalpost. Well, actually, here's a picture of the goalpost. What do you like?
Oh,
do?
He's talking about the uprights.
Yeah. Well, no, but then it got better. I said, it counts as the whole thing, right? And he goes, well, he didn't touch the goalpost. He touched the pad.
Oh, okay.
It was time for me to sign off for the night. At that point in time, it was, okay, this is what I'm dealing with tonight. Good night, everybody. Have a wonderful evening.
A friend of mine used to say, that's Lions logic.
I know Lions. Steelers using backup quarterback, Rodgers fractured wrist, Mason Rudolph. It's the return of Mason Rudolph.
You got a problem with Oklahoma State? Want to fight?
No. Random thought of the night. Jalen Duren is pretty good. Shep, pretty exciting what's going on with the Pistons.
He's really improved, and I love what he's done. Now, I got ripped on today because I said, look, we all looked for validation. We wanted the Lions to beat Philadelphia because it would have given them, that one high-profile win. I said, for example, if you look at the Pistons right now, some people would say the same thing about the Pistons. Where's their high-profile win?
Right.
They've won 9 in a row. And somebody's like, oh, he's a hater. I don't hate him. I love him. Love Cade Cunningham. Love Jalen Duren. I think Jalen Duren's going to star. I think Cade Cunningham is a superstar. I think J.B. Bickerstaff's perfect. I applaud what Trajan Langdon has done. They've beaten the Sixers, the Bulls, the Wizards, the Nets, the Jazz, the Grizzlies, the Mavs, and Orlando. And I think it's awesome. It's not easy to do, man. I mean, you've won 9 in a row. You're going to win 10 in a row tonight. I give them mad props. I'm just saying, if you're trying to compare and trying to validate certain things, maybe you would want to be compared against another type of team that's very good, off to a really good start. That's all.
Yep.
They should beat the crap out of Indiana.
Right.
And they
Absolutely.
are. So I give them full props. They can't it's not their fault that Tyrese Halliburton's not playing. It's not their fault that they didn't sign Miles Turner. I give them a ton of credit.
Beat the teams you're supposed to beat, and that was, to me, that was the staple of the Lions the last few years. The whole beat the teams that you're supposed to beat. Hey, if you're ready to take charge of your financial future, look no further than the Wealth Advantage Group, located in historic downtown Northville, owned by those two fellas right there, two handsome brothers with over 20 years of industry experience. They understand that your financial goals are as unique as you are, and that's why they offer personalized expert guidance to help you navigate the complexities of financial planning. Now, whether you're saving for retirement, you're getting ready to sell your company, you're already in retirement, they can help guide you through every step of your financial journey. They work with clients throughout all stages of life. They have clients in over 20 different states. The investment world is a complex one. So if you're ready to start taking your finances more seriously, it's time to work with the experts. Reach out to the Wealth Advantage Group at 248-773-8574 or visit their website at www.thewealthadv.com. Shep, by the way, this was just sent to me. Ole Mills has just told Lane Kiffin he needs to decide by the Egg Bowl. That's Ole Miss and Mississippi State, whether he's staying at Ole Mills or taking the Florida or LSU job. I am in awe of Lane Kiffin. There's nothing there. There's literally nothing there. Look at his resume. There's nothing there. And yet, Shep, I think he's wonderful for college football. I like the personality, all those things. I wouldn't want him as my coach because chances are you're not going to win anything. But you want to talk about a guy that has been able to maximize the looks and the personality and all the shenanigans and everything. This guy is going to get another primo gig if he wants it.
This will be very controversial for you, okay?
Right.
But your favorite school, if I were them, I would contact him. I know he's not. No, I know he's not going to go there. That doesn't matter. You're trying to become a player. If you move on from the man you have right now, who seems like a good dude, okay? Yeah. But it feels like many people feel like it's run its course. Get your name out there like, holy crap, man, they are serious about getting stuff done. What's wrong with doing something like that? And I'm not going to totally disagree with you. His offensive genius type moves have been maybe a little overblown. I think he did win something in the Pac-10 with USC.
They were on probation.
Okay. He did a lot for Florida Atlantic. It's Florida Atlantic. I get that. And I think this is his fourth straight year of 10 wins or more at Ole Miss, which can't be easy. 4 or 5. I think it's 4. I think certain schools, again, Michigan State, if they're going to move forward, go get your name in the media where people are going, you know what? They're serious about getting somebody big. That means they're getting ready to do something. You know full well he wouldn't come here. Go see if Eli Drunkowitz wants to be here.
Yep.
Float that out there in the media. Leak it, if you will, just to get people to go, oh, okay, I see what Michigan State's going to do. Instead of just assuming, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get the next best coordinator. We're going to get the next best mid-major head coach. Go tap that door a little bit at some of these bigger names and see. You might be surprised and see what happens.
For the record, 5-15 with the Raiders, 7-6 with Tennessee. At USC, his best year was 10-2 when they were on probation. Shep, as you mentioned, they went 11-3 one year in Florida Atlantic, 10-3 another year. Okay. Ole Mills 5-5, 10-3, 8-5, 11-2, 10-3, 10-1.
It's 3 straight years, but 4 out of 5 at Ole Miss. Okay.
Yeah. And you know what? Best finish in the Western Division, second place.
Okay.
That's just and if you're wondering why I keep calling it Ole Mills Pat Summerall, that's really why.
And he won. I know Conference USA isn't great, but he won that twice at Florida Atlantic. Okay.
Yep.
So the National Football League I throw out. I don't care. I mean, I'm not hiring him to be the Lions. Okay. If the National Football League mattered to me, then, Nick Saban wouldn't have got another job. If it mattered to me, then why in the world would Urban Meyer still have such a legendary reign, if you will, from college football, since he lasted 12 games in Jacksonville. So I don't even care about the Raiders. I can't say that I would yes, I would throw all this money and I want him to come no matter what. I'm just doing it for publicity, Sean. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to say it again. I think the guy's great for college football. I really do. We don't have personalities anymore. Shep, you and I grew up in an era where there were a lot of personalities in college football. I don't think there's a whole heck of a lot of personalities anymore in college
No,
football.
I agree. And some of them, I mean, they get made fun of. So
Mhm.
maybe that's part of the reason there isn't.
right,
Brian Kelly tried to become a personality. He tried to become, something outside looking in at his own body, and it didn't work, obviously. I mean, yeah, is he a personality? Is he got that swagger? Does he piss people off? All the above, right? But it would put other members in the Big Ten on notice. I'll tell you that, man.
No doubt. All right, one more thing before we get out of here. Let's talk about Lindsey Broadwell, whether you're buying, selling, whatever the case may be. When it comes time to get yourself a real estate agent, you got to get the right one. Lindsey Broadwell. Your house is probably the biggest investment you'll ever make, and that's why you need a pro. Lindsey grew up on the mean streets of Northville. She's expanded her team all over Southeast Michigan. So she understands all facets of the business and knows the area really well. So when it's time to move, Lindsey and her team will make sure you get the most out of your house and everything goes smoothly when finding your new home. Buyer, seller, even first-time buyer. Make sure you contact Lindsey at BroadwellHomes.com. She'll help you with everything from start to close. Licensed realtor at Real Broker LLC. Start your search day at BroadwellHomes.com. Personalities died with Mike Leach. What a character.
Oh, that's a good one.
What a
Good job,
character.
Austin.
Yeah, no doubt. Shep, enjoy. Check out Shep's morning show. Check him out in the afternoon with Braylon as well. We'll talk next week, pal.
Okay, my man. Thank you, Todd.
All right, I love watching the Cowboys. I can't wait. I cannot wait to race upstairs and watch the Cowboys. I want to see Jerry Jones and those purple spots on his body.
I can't wait till ESPN gets in front of him and asks him question after question. Oh, there's a coach here? No, it's just the owner. Oh, good.
No,
Let's talk to him.
He's got grimace spots all over him. All right, see you guys. Thanks, Todd. Bye.
Shep and Sean, featuring Matt Shepard and Sean Baligian. Executive produced by Sean Baligian and Todd Losey. Theme song, incidental music, and related sound effects are from Still Alive by Anti-Ghost. Engineering, mixing, and graphic design support provided by the Unsyndicated Podcast team. Don't forget to like and subscribe on all your favorite channels. While you're there, be sure to rate and review the podcast. Call the Unsyndicated hotline at 248-237-3257.